Retreat series, Dhamma talk number 49. In the last few Dhamma talks, we have been discussing based around on the beautiful mind, Sobhana Citta. Beautiful mind as a centerpiece. We discuss around it from the various point of views and angles. And here, if one has a beautiful mind, automatically one will have a beautiful body because they are connected. Beautiful, if you train your mind to be beautiful, your body will automatically become beautiful as well. In other words, body, speech, and mind. Train your mind, speech become beautiful, body become beautiful. So this training, to become beautiful, and just what? Number one is dana. We all know dana is generosity. Dana, one has to make it as a habit. Not just once in a while you go out and do great donation or giving this or giving that. Of course you can do that, very specific, special event, but make it a habit in your daily life. Dana. Dana is giving. You give material, material products, money, funds. You give your time, you give your service, you help. Those are all dana. And when you give dana, when you have generosity, your attitude of mind must be in such a way with the attitude of going to make other people's happy, a little better, a little safer, a little happier, a little more relief from suffering. That attitude has to be in the mind. With that attitude, one needs to do generosity. And also, put it in a different way, you give with a pure mind. Pure mind is a mind infused with loving kindness and compassion. When you're giving, that loving kindness and compassion is woven through that generosity giving. And above all, whatever you do, whatever you give, do not have any expectation in return. Only then it becomes a very pure dana or generosity. You can do that dana every day. Whenever you see somebody, whenever you come across a situation, you can make that person's life a little less stress, a little more happiness. And all these actions are dana. So that is one of the practice to become beautiful. Actually in a training ground and you're doing it. The other one is we all know sila. Sila, morality. Basic, the 5 precepts. You may go 8, 9, 10 and so on and so forth. Sila is basically, in a stricter sense, is refraining from doing hurt and harm to other people. In a stricter sense. Again, to this sila is, you have to make it becomes a habit in you. Not killing, not hurting, not harming, it's become a habit in you. And so on, all the precepts. You refrain from doing hurt and harm to others. But to open up this, the path of sila, Okay? If you only practicing sila strict, it is not that smooth, it is dry. Okay? Not smooth, not dry, not flowy if it is only sila. If you really want to open up the highway of sila, smooth, not bumpy and not dry, you must infuse with dana, helping, service, giving, sharing. When you put those two together, then sila become very easy, very smooth and flowy. Otherwise it is quite dry. Simply refrain, restraint, refrain, restraint. So if you don't do dana, generosity, act of generosity, your sila will be not that smooth, not that flowy and pretty dry. If you do these two, dana and sila, automatically we all know you have taken care of the nature of speech and deed. Okay, all your deeds will become beautiful, all your speech will become beautiful. That is straight directly out into a habit daily life. And of course, thirdly, you must have a constant awareness and attention, at all things that is happening around you, all things that are arising around you and in you, both in and out, internal and external. You must be quite acutely aware and attentive. Of course, again, one word is mindful. But as soon as you say mindful, it becomes so technical. So let's put it this way. Be very acutely aware and attentive of all things happening in you and around you. In other words, your observation is constant. Observation is constant. And if you do that dana, sila, and acute awareness, mindfulness, observation, then that is what it means by atta samapaniti. You are training your mind to be beautiful. When your mind becomes beautiful, automatically your body becomes beautiful, which means your deeds, your manners, your aura become beautiful. And that is atta samapaniti, or self-practice, or you can call it self-cultivation, or you can call it self-programming. Whichever words that really effective to you, use that. Training, practice, cultivation, programming. That's how one can beautify your mind and the body. Atta samapaditi. So in here, of course, in general is self-cultivation. Whenever you do this self-cultivation, what do we need? What do we really need is, that is, we call it a wheel. Let's call it a wheel. A wheel that is always rolling, moving. Okay? A wheel that is always moving, rolling, going, going, going. This wheel have a, let's say it have a 3 or 4 spokes that is supporting that wheel. The 4 spoke that is supporting the wheel. And with that wheel with the 4 spokes has to keep on rolling. Okay? Only then your atta samapaniti, self-cultivation, become powerful, strong, and continuous. So we all know what this 4 spokes or 4 accomplishment. 4 spokes or 4 accomplishment. That is supporting that wheel which is going on and on. And out of these 4 accomplishments, there are 2 accomplishments. 2 accomplishments is, the first one is what? A suitable place. Good. Need to have a suitable place. Once you have a suitable place, you can do all things. Okay. If you are in the right place, in a suitable place, you can develop your education very easily. You must have a right place to develop your education quite well. And also you can develop and expand, make prosperous the wealth. You can accumulate wealth if you are in the right place. And also you can accumulate kusala, okay, wholesomeness. You can accumulate kusala, wholesomeness, if you are in the right place. You can develop education, you can develop wealth, you can develop kusala, okay? Good deeds, wholesomeness. But you have to be at the right place, appropriate place, proper place. Among those 3, of course, we all do. We grow up, we educate, we work, we accumulate wealth, family support. Among these 3, the most important thing is the kusala. Okay? Developing, accumulating, acquiring kusala. Wholesome deeds, wholesome nature, wholesome attitude. That is the most important thing among the 3. And this kusala is not a standalone you have to go down and do. While you are accumulating education, you can do that kusala with it together. While you're accumulating wealth, you can do that kusala with it together. It's not separately developing. But know that developing, accomplishing, acquiring kusala is the most important among the 3. Education, wealth, and kusala. So when you are got into the right place, you accumulate kusala. When you accumulate kusala, what is that? We already know. We started out with that. Generosity, dana, sila, and then bhavana. These are the 3 that are going. So those actions that you'll be doing, okay? So the reason is you are at the right place. You are at the right place. When you are at the right place, and then what do? You are very acutely aware. Okay? Acutely aware of your environment, your surrounding. And then you try to develop and do a good, okay, conditioned nature. If you just simply live like that, automatically what happens is you will come across a person, a friend, a mentor, a teacher, which will lead you farther in that direction of kusala, to the level of refined kusala. Kusala is so many things. Any good deed is called kusala. But kusala, let's call it kusala in general, the moderate, or even refined. We can just develop, categorize in such a nature. But when you're in the right place and when you start living properly, like a human being to the best you can, a model citizen or outstanding citizen, automatically you will come across a mentor, a teacher, a good friend, or kalyana mita. That is what will go. And if that's the case, this 4 wheel will keep on going, 4 spokes of the wheel will keep on going. But one thing was, at this moment you have these two. The first one, suitable place, and second one is a good friend. The first one is one spoke of the wheel, the second one is a second spoke of the wheel. And these two are connected. If you have one, and if you maintain that environment with kusala, the second one will be automatically connected. You got the right place, you see this right person to associate with, to develop further kusala into the refined kusala. And why do you have this? It is not by accident you have that. It is because of your past deeds, past actions. Past means from the previous lives. You have done in the previous life. What it is many good deeds you have done. The current wealth, the current education, the current status is the result of the past life actions. Again, it is connected, past, cause and effect, cause and effect. It is connected in that sense. So in here, in our life, the most important thing is this self-cultivation or self-programming. Okay? That is totally vital if you are walking on the path towards perfection. You are trying to become a perfect human being. If you are trying to become a perfect human being or the most beautiful human being, then this self-cultivation is absolutely necessary. It is vital. And only then what will happen is, if you have previous life, good deeds, you are in the right place, you have the right teacher, and if you start practicing it, what will happen is, those are the four spokes: right place, teacher, having good deeds from the past life, and actually practicing, cultivating. Those were the four spokes that frame that wheel. And if you have those four segments, four phases, okay, four accomplishment, this wheel will keep on rotating and rotating, going and going. As soon as we say wheel, that means it's always moving and moving, moving, changing and changing and changing, going from one place to the other. But in here, this particular set of machine, this particular set of wheel, with the full accomplishment as a spokes, always go to a better place, a better place, a better place, in other words, to a better existence, a better status. They never go down. So in here, this spoke, this wheel, this machine has to go on. If a machine wants to go on, you need what? Gas. Only when you have that gas, the car can, the machine can, the vehicle can move. The same thing for these spokes, or for this wheel with the four spokes to keep on rotating endlessly. You need some kind of a gas. And that gas is kusala. Again, back there. So kusala is what? You do dana, you do sila, and you do mental training, mind training. Okay? If you only do dana alone, this wheel cannot keep moving. If you do sila alone, you can't. If you do meditation alone, this wheel will not keep on going. And if you put all sort of things together and keep on pumping it, this wheel will not move on endlessly. It might go to a point, it stops. It might go to a point, it stops. So dana, sila, and mind training alone is not sufficient. And in here, you have to put in another form of kusala or gas, which is called Satipatthana Vipassana, mindfulness insight. If one practices this mindfulness insight along with the dana, sila, and mental training, especially mindfulness insight, up to a certain level, you have to practice up to a certain level, and then you have enough gas to keep that wheel or the machine going on and on and on, rotating non-stop. Without that, the wheel may go and stop, or go in the wrong way, or go down the hill. So those are the kusala or gas, dana and sila, and concentration. But the most important thing is Satipatthana Vipassana. So what it is sila, samadhi, and pinya. You have to have a morality, you have to have a mental concentration, and you have to have pinya, wisdom. Without that pinya, that wheel cannot rotate endlessly, non-stop. So in here, if you can inject that kusala, what is required for the wheel to go, you can go up to the point of santi sukha, supreme peace. That is the destination. That wheel will keep on rotating and going up to the point of santi sukha, or the end of all suffering, physical and mental suffering, or nibbana. That wheel can put you up to that point. But you have to keep on pumping that gas. And right now, look at it. We have Buddha Sasana. And we are in a place where we can practice Buddha Sasana. So in other words, we are in the right place at the right time. There are times without Sasana, that's a wrong time. The right place at the right time. And also you have a group of people who are meditating together, practice together, Kalyana Metta. And we have teachers and teachers and teachers that can guide us whenever we need. Okay, we have access to the teachers. The guide is already there. So don't let this opportunity pass by you. All that you need is, you have all the requirements, but you need to practice. You need to cultivate. You need to program yourself. Don't let it pass by. So in here, this wheel is, I think all of you here know Patthana in general. One of the Patthana is called Upanishya Pichayo. Upanishya Pichayo is strong dependent condition. Out of the 24, there's one. There are things, many things in there, but specifically there is called strong dependent condition. This full accomplishment, full phases of accomplishment to make that wheel is Upanishya Pichayo. It's a strong dependent condition. So it is put right in there in the Dhamma. So if you know that, Upanishya Pichayo, you know exactly what it is. And if you have a strong dependent, what happens is automatically at that moment, at that person has got Yoniso Bhoga. Yoniso is basically straight, honest, fair, and direct attitude. Bhoga is the wealth. You own or you have the wealth of totally straightforward, honest, sincere, and appropriate attitude. The wealth. You have a full wealth of that, Yoniso Bhoga. That is one way of looking at this situation, this Attasamapatiti four-wheel. One way is, it is a upanisya, strong dependent. Another one is, you have the will, yoniso, bhoga. Bhoga, the will. That's another way of looking at it. And the third way of looking at it, we can look at in terms of sampajanya. What we are doing is we are weaving all the things that we have taught and learned together and put and see how they are connected one to the other. Okay? Sampajanya, clear comprehension. There are four kinds of clear comprehension. Out of the four kinds, what are the first two? Sattaka sampajanya, beneficiality, clear comprehension of beneficiality. Second one is sappaya sampajanya, okay? Clear comprehension of suitability and appropriateness. Those are the two. What is this? We have a suitability and beneficiality. So in other words, yoniso manasikara is what? You always know. You always know what is suitable and what is appropriate. And you also know, if I do this, it is beneficial. If I don't do this, it is not beneficial. If I do this, it could hurt or it could harm. In other words, yoniso, abhoga, the will is, it gives you a understanding into every situation and condition what is beneficial and what is suitable and what is appropriate. Sampajanya. So when you know those two things, what happens is you have it. And why do you have it? Because you have this full accomplishment, the wheel with full accomplishments. That's why you have these two sampajanya. That's why you have this wealth, the wealth of the right attitude, the right attention. So in here, suddenly, when you have these things, refined kusala arises. Okay? Kusala is not just in general, kusala is anything good deed, we call it kusala, but we'll call it refined kusala arises. Refined kusala blossom. Believe it's called nipekha. Nipekha jnana. Nipekha jnana is the refined kusala means it is the, you achieve, when you have those two things, you achieve a mature insight. You achieve a mature insight. We are not talking about the 13 stages of insight. You see a mature insight. What does a mature insight means? Not unwavering. Nipekha. What it means is one knows, simply knows what is correct and what is right. And it follows that understanding and you execute it prudently. Okay? Exactly, one knows what is right and what is correct under any condition, and then one execute prudently. That's called nipekha jnana, mature insight. Everything is spanned out from that four accomplishments of the wheel. And these are the different Dhamma we know, and they are all based on the situation, based on the condition. Buddha taught us with very different words and very different angle. And we just need to know how they are connected and what it means, not simply saying the words or reciting a phrase. So when we said one knows correctly and one executes prudently as one knows, in both Lokiya and Lokuttara, what it means is, in your everyday life, in our normal life, In that life too, one knows how to execute prudently. That is Lokiya. Lokuttara, ultra-mundane. If you are in the pursuit of the ultra-mundane affairs and path, in there too, you exactly know what is correct, right, and you execute prudently. Both in the world, both mundane world and ultra-mundane world. This is so simple, but if you look at it deeper and deeper, it's very deep. So in here, it named it in a different way again too, this one. Patihariya Pinya, I think that's a Pali word, if I'm not wrong. What it is that process, that situation, translated is called pocket wisdom or traveling wisdom. That Patihariya Pinya means pocket wisdom, traveling wisdom. That wisdom, you can put it in your pocket and you can pull it out anytime you want. Traveling wisdom, wherever you go, you have it with you. Wherever you travel, you have it in your pocket, that wisdom is. In other words, you have a very easy access to it. So that under that name, this four accomplishments wheel is also known as such. You have it in your pocket wherever you go. In other words, you have access at all times. When you have that, in a simple language without having names, you have the beneficiality and you have the suitability in every instances. You know, you do, you execute. And when you are able to do that, you do very little wrongs. It is not that you are perfect, you don't do any wrong, not to that point yet. You do very little wrong and you do a lot of right things. At that status, automatically that is your behavior, that's your actions. Okay? You do very little wrong and you have a lot of rights. So that's why this self-cultivation or having the full accomplishment is vital for the wheel to turn perpetually. And that's why it has all the energy and gas to keep that wheel rolling on and on and on. So this is how one cultivates and what are the results. But one thing is, remember, only when a person has a parami to become a arhat in this life, okay, a person who has a parami to become arhat in this life, only those people can do no wrong. Only those people are always in the states of yonisamanasikara. Only those people have a constant mindfulness. Constant mindfulness. More like auto-mindfulness. Every moment they are mindful. Every nanosecond they are mindful. Only the people with a parami to become arhata in this life. And only those people have enough energy, sufficient energy to make that wheel going round and round and round non-stop. Okay, so this is a key, very important point to understand. Only a person who has a parami to become an arhat in this life can keep that wheel going round and round and round non-stop, because they do no wrong, because they have a auto-mindfulness at every nanosecond. That's a reason. And those people, okay, they have a auto-mindfulness as every time. They have a right view. the people who have the paramita, and they have the right thought, and they never hurt and harm anybody, and they have no trace of cruelty in them. And those are the people who can keep that wheel going round and round, and they have enough energy, enough gas to make it go on. But the rest of us is, other than that arahat, the rest of us is different. Okay. We do not have that kind of energy, or we cannot have that kind of gas to make the wheel go round and round non-stop. So we have to keep that in mind. And if you keep that in mind, what happens is whatever effort, whatever exertion we are putting, we should be aware. We should put it, double it up, triple it up, quadruple it up. If you don't do that, you do not have enough gas, enough energy to keep that wheel going around. The rest of us are. So, in here, you must keep on pumping that energy or exerting double, triple, till to the point of becoming a first noble person, the first stream winner, Satipatthana. Only once you become a Satipatthana, or the first stream winner, then what happened was that wheel can keep on going unbroken, unstopped. Okay? But until and unless you become a Satipatthana, that wheel can still stop. That wheel can be broken. That wheel can go in the wrong direction. That's why once we are on it, once we are in that wheel, always put your exertion always above average, double, triple. Don't relax. That is the way one need to do if you want to keep this wheel going perpetually to the point of Santi Sukha, supreme peace. So let's take a few examples. I think most of us are familiar with the name Devadatta. Devadatta. It's one of the bhikkhu at the time of Buddha, Devadatta. Actually, he is the, let's say, he is the brother of his wife, cousin. Okay, I don't know what the problem is. The cousin, the brother of his wife, Devadatta, one of the prince. He ordained, he came into the Sasana because along with it, that 500, I always use the word 500, many prince, they were ordained and followed Buddha when he went to the capital. And Devadatta is one of them. And he was, he was his cousin, also his cousin, and also his Buddha's wife, or let's now his ex-wife, brother. So he was there. And what happened was, if you look at it, this brother is, if you look at his situation, number one, he is at the right time, at the right place. There's a Buddha Sasana, brand new. He is at the right place, the right time. And also, he has a good mentor. The Buddha himself is teaching right there. Good place and good right. And on top of that, he already has, exceeded, become master in jhana, and not only jhana, beyond jhana, he has abhinya, supernormal power. That much his mind is. So if you look at it, there's a suitable place, there's a teacher, there is not only that, he has abhinya, mental concentration is perfect in there. Based on that, if you look at it, he has a previous life, kusalas, full accomplishments are right with him, up to that level. That is the condition of Devadatta. But at that life, as a bhikkhu, what he was thinking was he liked to have a little easy way of getting things. What he was thinking was, well, Buddha is the leader here in all these, among the bhikkhus and the monks and the bhikkhunis. And what he wants is, he wants to replace the Buddha. Okay, I'll take over your place. And then if Buddha is gone, he can take the place, because that's how the kings and queens are. You kill somebody and you take the place. He wanted to take the place to become a Buddha, so he tried to assassinate Buddha 3 times actually. Didn't succeed. He assassinated Buddha. And what it is, if you look at it, the whole thing, he has the parami. He is in the right place. He has the sasana. He has the teacher. But one thing he is lacking. What it is lacking is, he is not practicing the self-cultivation to train the body, speech, and mind to be gentle, to be polite, to be cultured. The Buddha is teaching, but he doesn't listen. He already has the abhinya, and he doesn't follow what we are supposed to do to develop wisdom, to develop Satipatthana, Vipassana. He didn't. But he's drunk on his power, and he has a wrong view, just want to take the Buddha place, assassinate. And we all know where he goes and what direction he goes to. It's said in the scripture he is now in the hell realm. But he has everything. That shows how important it is, this part of atta samappaditi, self-cultivation is. No, Devadatta has everything, except that he didn't do it, and he go in the wrong direction, and the wrong path with the wrong view. That's why atta samappaditi. As long as you are a putujana, even if you have a 8 jhana and a abhinyan, still with the wrong view, you go to the wrong direction, because you lack atta samappaditi, self-cultivation of body, speech, and mind. So that's one example, Devadatta. Another one was, in Burmese it's called Ajatatta, I think. Achyuta Sutta, I guess in Pali. Achyuta Sutta, the name. He is a prince, the prince in the kingdom where the Buddha is. His father is Bhimbisara king. And that one too, he's a prince. Okay. He's a prince, and in one of the sutta, the Buddha said, this prince, Achyuta Sutta, he has a parami to become a Sotapanna in that life. That is his parami in the later, but I just injected at first. And this one is a prince. He came over to that monastery quite often, come and visit the monastery quite often, donate things like that. But what he did was he hung out with Devadatta. This Devadatta, he's trying to have his own little group, to take over the Buddha. And with his opinion, with his supernormal power, a lot of people are impressed and go follow him. And this Achyuta Sutta too, he was quite impressed with opinion. He came to the monastery, but he just followed this Devadatta, listened to what he say. And this one, do you say, oh, this is the king's son. He will become the king, he will be powerful, and if he support me, I'll have a lot of power here. So what he do was, he seduced with his supernormal power as well, kill your father now, and if that's the case, you will become a king now, and you can do anything you want. Otherwise, you have to wait for another 20, 30, 40 years till your father die. So to make the long story short, the son assassinate or kill his father. That's what happened. And again, to look at it, he's a prince. He is in the right place, in the right time. He has a Buddha right there. But he didn't take that as a teacher. He took Devadatta as his teacher. The wrong teacher, the wrong Dhamma, the wrong type practice, and gone. And he has a parami to become a Satipatthana according to the Buddha. But he's now in the hell's realm. So those are the points that shows, even though you might have that full accomplishment, the wheel with full accomplishment, keep on rotating, once, any lifetime, any years, any months, any days, any hours, you can have a wrong view and step onto the wrong stone, and then you can fall and make that wheel stop and broken. Because of that, let us put as much effort as possible to the process of this self-cultivation, body, speech, and mind, according to the way Buddha has taught us. There's another one story. It's not with the specific, they call Brahmana. Brahmana is, in India at that time, there's Hinduism, Brahmanism is quite, even before the Buddha was there. Brahmanas are very intelligent, and they have a great concentration too. One of the Brahmana came and asked the Buddha, okay, what are the causes? Because he's already practicing or talking with Buddha. What are the causes for anyone, to be able to hear, feel, and practice this sublime Dhamma in the next life? Because he knows this life, we already have it, but next life, you may or may not have it. What are the causes so that one can still hear and one can still practice this sublime Dhamma, and this sublime Dhamma may not wane or disappear? What are the causes? The Brahmana asked the Buddha. And this is the Buddha answer. If one is not mindful, that person, sublime Dhamma will wane or even disappear. If one is mindful, regardless of whichever lifespan you are, that sublime Dhamma will never wane, never disappear, but instead it will keep on shining. Just one word, mindfulness. But mindfulness is not just simply mindful. Mindfulness, practice, live, keep, continuously, constantly, and as a part of your life. That kind of mindfulness. If you have that mindfulness, sublime Dhamma will never wane, never disappear in any life, whichever that span you will be. That's a question and answer from the One Brahmana Sutta. So in here, we young people nowadays, we are quite nice place, well-suited place, have education, work, prosperous, have money and wealthy, success, fame. And if you simply just live that, automatically the chances of breaking the precepts are very high. Let's say out of 5, at least 3 will be broken. Okay, telling lie, taking intoxicant, and a little bit of cheating, distorting, extortion, things like that. Maybe you might not kill. Some do, some don't, some go hunting. Maybe you might not do any sexual misconduct, but some do. A lot of marriages, 50% of the marriages failed in North American continent. So if one is not mindful, you have education, you have wealth, and the chances of breaking those 5 precepts are quite easy. And if that's the case, you are in a one line. But if you keep yourself straight and narrow with Satipatthana Vipassana, if you practice Satipatthana with straight and narrow, what happens? If you do that, Satipatthana Vipassana means you already have generosity and morality as a foundation, and bhavana. You will have a straight and narrow life, which will climb on and on and on. But as soon as you say straight and narrow, it seems like you are wearing a straight jacket. What does it mean by straight and narrow? A person who doesn't harm anybody. A person who's not cruel at anybody. A person who's always helping. Okay? Always trying to relieve suffering of others. Trying to make others happy in every way that they could. A person who has a right view. A person who has a right thought. And always trying, putting effort to be mindful, to be heedful, the best that you can. And that person is called straight and narrow. And if one lives as such, this wheel with 4 accomplishment spokes will never stop rotating, and you will eventually arrive to the point of Santi Sukha, supreme peace. May all of you be able to practice this 4 accomplishments wheel and keep on rotating non-stop, and may you attain supreme peace as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Buddham Pujami. Dhammam Pujami. Sangham Pujami.